Like, it looks like someone quite literally took a sledgehammer to my face, and that's because they actually did.
Exactly 1 year ago, I got rhinoplasty surgery, or a nose job, with Dr. Dhir in Beverly Hills. It was something I had thought about doing for years, but was honestly too scared. It wasn't until I had major medical issues that I was forced to take action, and I've never been happier that I did. I documented the entire process from the initial consultation and how I found my surgeon, to preparing for surgery, surgery day, and everything post-op. If you want to check that out, it's linked down below. I really got into what drove me to make this decision and every step I went through to ensure my surgery and recovery went smoothly, and I couldn't be more thankful for how everything turned out. So here I am, 1 year later, and I figured I'd answer the $1 million question, as well as Google's most searched nose job related questions. Was it worth it? Let's find out. What's up, you guys? I'm on my way to my 1 year follow-up appointment with Dr. Dhir for my rhinoplasty surgery that happened last February. It's actually only January 9th today, and my surgery happens on February 19th of last year. So I'm about a month before the actual official 1 year. So I'm going today, and we're just gonna see basically how my healing has gone and if there's anything we need to do still remaining. I can anticipate that we may have to end up shaving down some of the inside cartilage because it's still very swollen on the inside, and that's supposed to be gone by now. But other than that, I don't think we'll have to do anything crazy. I just cannot believe how fast time flew by. I feel like I just got surgery. It's insane. So I'm driving there now, and I'll check in with you soon. All right, guys, I'm at the office for my 1 year follow-up appointment with Dr. Dhir. Here he is.
All right, guys, we are in the office again. 1 year. I am so proud of this result. I can't wait to show you the finer points, but we are 1 year. How are you feeling?
Amazing.
All right, let me show you guys. I'll show you the pre-ops as well. Just posted the before pictures of all the views. I'm going to show you guys the finer points. We did discuss taking down a hump. We wanted to keep it strong and straight with a gentle curvature, super tip break, which is this region here. We wanted the tips supported and really nicely shaped. 3/4 view, which is really important. I love this. It matches her face. It harmonizes with her strong cheekbones, strong chin. She's also very tall. I think that the nose falls into the face. We just look at the eyes. I think if we did any more of a slope, that would have taken away from the other key features because they're so strong. I'm really happy that we kept it that way. Front view, we had to get that hump. You can see the little lines that we love to talk about. These lines that start here, come all the way down the nose, and they shoot outward a little bit. There's not an hourglass with the hump. It goes in, out, in, out. It breaks the line. So now it's a very smooth line, comes to the nice, natural, refined tip. I'm very happy with that. And as you can see on this 3/4 view, side profile, and then when she smiles, the tip stays upward. It's very, very important. So overall, I'm very happy with the science features of it, but of course the person behind the nose is most important. And how did you feel?
Amazing.
How was your healing process over the year?
So easy, so great, like nothing, no complications. It was amazing. Literally so easy.
And we are very proud.
And you guys know, if you've been following this journey, like, I'm obsessed with him. He's the best doctor in the world. Please, if you guys are ever considering anything like this, come to him. He's the best.
Much appreciated.
And I'm not just saying that, but you know that.
We had fun, Adrienne.
Yeah, we had fun. I don't ever want this journey to be over, so I'm just gonna keep finding excuses to come back here. Like, he might micro needle me
We'll keep
and
you
all
looking
that.
natural. We'll
Yeah.
always teach new stuff that we're doing. That'll be actually kind of fun for the next era, don't you think?
Yes, definitely.
She's really about
Yeah.
being natural, and I know that we have Botox fillers. There
Yeah.
are other things too. So we're gonna start with microneedling, maybe PRP, where we take your blood and we put it on the bags.
So cool and weird.
Some skincare stuff just
Yeah.
to kind of make her feel that, you know, she's maintaining her natural beauty.
Yeah.
Obviously rhinoplasties are a big discussion, but I think we kept it natural.
We definitely did. I mean, people hardly noticed. It's great. So
Well, I'm very proud of Adrienne. She made it through the year really well. She's very mature. 1 year is
Thank
hard.
you.
It's a hard process through swelling, and she got through it. We were wrong the whole way.
I was like, ain't no thing.
I know, yeah, we got all the pre-ops you'll probably show, but look at that beautiful side profile. Look at that tip, it's nice and elevated. Smile for the camera. Side profile. I love how that tip does not droop when she smiles. A lot of people with rhinoplasty, when they come in for evaluations, always talk about that. And the best part is rhinoplasties only add confidence, and as you can see, we have plenty of confidence. So
Every time he's like, you're 10 times more confident than last time. I'm like, I don't know how that's possible, but you're right.
It's always a pleasure to meet people that are referred through Adrienne.
Yeah. Anyway,
nice to see all you guys.
See you later. So as you can see, there's like absolutely no hump anymore. The tip was brought up. From the front before, my nose was actually a lot thinner, but it's because I couldn't breathe. It was like super pinched right here. So he actually had to take cartilage from the tip and add it to the outside to like widen this out so I could actually breathe. So it's funny, from the front, it's actually wider than it was before. But as you can tell still, it's just like so much straighter. Every angle is just so much better than it was before. My nostrils are actually a little bit not symmetrical anymore, and they used to be. And then from the top, you could can tell that it's straight. I think the weirdest part for me was definitely like feeling this after and realizing that there's no bump because I'm so used to just having had a bump my whole life. Okay, so let's just get into the questions. So I searched Google's most searched nose job questions, and we're just gonna run down through the list right now. Okay, question 1, how did you choose a doctor? So I actually got really lucky. If you guys watch my other video, you'll see the entire process. I actually got really lucky, and I have a friend who works for this company called Cosmetic Town. And if you guys don't have someone who works there, which you probably don't, I highly recommend going to their website, Cosmetic Town. Basically, they have all these resources on their site for like comparing doctors and really understanding what a procedure is so that you can figure out the best surgeon to do that. But I just recommend literally doing as much research as you can on the internet. Go look at like a million reviews, make sure that the doctor is super certified and has like performed a bunch of rhinoplasties before. I ended up getting consultations with 3 doctors, and then I ended up choosing my 1 doctor, but I did a sufficient amount of research. I would tell you guys, like, it took me a year from like starting consultations to actually getting surgery because I was just like very paranoid, and like I'm not someone to go do something like this, to go get surgery, especially cosmetic, and I was so worried about how it was gonna look. So I took my dang time with the research, and I really made sure I felt comfortable with my doctor. I made sure that we had the same goals for my face, and it wasn't just some doctor that was gonna like do a cookie cutter signature style of a nose. Like, I have my own face, and I obviously don't want to look the same as everyone else. So this doctor was like so great. I could tell that he really cared about my needs. He never rushed me. It was awesome. But I'm not gonna blab on and on about that. You can go watch my other video, but I used Cosmetic Town to kind of research, and I recommend that you do too if you're ever looking. Next question, how long was recovery? So when you get rhinoplasty, there are 2 kinds. There's like an open and a closed. Open is where they're actually snipping right here, lifting it up and like messing with everything inside. Because that's a little bit more like damaging, it takes actually a full entire year to heal it, but obviously for a year you're not like bedridden. You get your cast off after 6 days, and then your nose is still swollen, so you're supposed to kind of take it easy for like 2 weeks after surgery. So maybe not go into work until like 10 days after, or 2 weeks if you can. Basically the longest that you can kind of chill and do nothing, the better, just because it's very risky. If you hit your nose, if you do anything that could cause like it to not heal the way that it's supposed to heal, like that can actually affect how it looks even more than the actual surgery. So I literally just chilled for 2 weeks, but the cast came off on day 6. And then beyond that, basically 80% of the swelling goes down in like the first 1 to 2 months. So it's not like you're walking around with like a honking nose. Other people don't really notice, but the swelling does go down like very significantly over each week, like as you move on, but it's not fully healed, and the cartilage is not fully formulated for a full year. Yeah, so overall the recovery is so quick and so easy. Like literally 1 to 2 weeks is all it takes to recover. Okay, next question. I thought this question was really funny. Do nose jobs last forever? So yes, obviously, if you're getting a rhinoplasty or any type of cartilage reconstruction, or you know, anything where things are being moved around in there, yes, it lasts forever. There is another type of rhinoplasty called like liquid rhinoplasty, where they're actually injecting filler into your nose to kind of straighten and smooth it out. That does not last forever. I'm not sure how long that lasts. I think like 6 months maybe, or maybe even a year. Actually, maybe like 2 years. Okay, I don't know, you're gonna have to Google it. But there is liquid rhinoplasty, but for anything else where you're going under the knife and you're actually performing surgery or moving around cartilage, yes, it lasts forever. Next question, does rhinoplasty hurt? Okay, so here's the thing. I watched a ton of people's videos on this, like before I got my surgery, and I saw so many mixed reactions. For me, it didn't hurt at all. Like, I had literally the most painless surgery, the most painless recovery. I mean, I had pain meds, but I only took them like the first 2 days. Instead of feeling pain, I just felt like I had a really intense headache. Like the first day, I just felt like right here, a bunch of pressure just like in my sinuses. I felt like I had a really bad headache. So it was fine. It wasn't like the best feeling in the world, but I just felt like I had a really bad cold because I just had the splints in my nose, the cast, and then I just felt like I had a really bad headache, but the painkillers totally helped. But when I was watching other people's videos, I saw some where people were like miserable the first 3 days, or just like miserable the first day. I was like so fine. I literally had the smoothest, easiest recovery. Nothing went wrong. I felt great. It didn't hurt at all. Also, like, you're obviously under anesthesia during the actual surgery, so it doesn't hurt. And I recommend, if you guys are like going under surgery at all, ask them to give you a prescription for an anti-nausea medication, consultation, because a lot of people, what I hear is that the painkillers make them nauseous, so they don't end up taking the painkillers, and then they're in a lot of pain. I already knew that painkillers made me nauseous and anesthesia makes me nauseous because it has before. So I told my anesthesiologist like right away before surgery, I said, I get really nauseous from painkillers and from anesthesia. Like, can you pump me with as much anti-nausea meds as you can? And she's like, I got you. So she literally pumped me with like 4 different things like on surgery day. And then I got a prescription for Zofran, which is just like a pill that you can take every 8 hours or so to just relieve any nausea from painkillers. So I highly recommend doing that, because I do think a lot of the people who end up being like severely in pain are not taking painkillers. I don't know. Okay, this question I feel like everyone always wants to know. How much did it cost, or how much do like good nose jobs cost? So I'm gonna tell you right now, the price definitely varies based on basically like what city and state you're in, and also what type of surgeon you're going for. I'm gonna tell you right now, like I got surgery in Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, which is one of the like most famous places for plastic surgeons. So Beverly Hills is home to some of the most top-notch, famous, and also just like most skilled surgeons in the world. Like people fly here from all over the world to get surgery with my doctor and with other people in Beverly Hills. So I will say the prices are like very inflated in Beverly Hills. Nose jobs can run anywhere from like $12,000 to $20,000 in Beverly Hills. I will say that in other cities, I would say you can get still a really good surgeon and a really good nose job for like $6,000 or $7,000 sometimes. $5,000 is probably pushing it, unless, like, again, just do your research so that you know that your surgeon's reputable. I would never get a nose job for under $5,000. Just because I feel like that's probably not the best surgeon in the world. But I think like between $5,000 and $10,000 is usually a pretty good range. And of course, if you're going to like a top surgeon, they're going to inflate the prices a bit, and it will be like 15 to 20. But they do offer, most of them offer like financing plans and payment plans, so you can pay it off over time, because obviously that's a huge amount of money. But I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like for something as serious as a nose job, like price was not even a factor for me, because yes, I don't have like 20 grand to just throw out the window, but you don't want to like mess with your face. This is your face. This is what you're gonna feel and breathe through and look at for the rest of your life. So do not skimp on the price. Make sure that if you're ready to do the surgery, you're ready to go all in and get the top surgeon that you can for the price that you feel like is right. Next question, does it change your voice? So I've heard so many mixed things about this, both from people who've had surgery and just like rumors and Google. For me, it did not change my voice. It definitely can change your voice though, but usually I feel like it would only make your voice better. And why I say that is just because sometimes people that have really pinched nostrils or can't breathe very well, your nose and your mouth are connected. So sometimes people speak a little bit nasally if they, you know, feel like their nose is pinched. Like, look, if I plug my nose and I talk like way more nasally, you know what I mean? And obviously people like don't talk like this on a daily basis, but you know when you're congested and you just kind of sound different. So for the most part, I feel like people who get rhinoplasties or nose jobs usually, if anything, would sound less nasally, but it definitely can change your voice. There's kind of no guarantee of like what it's gonna do, but I don't think it changed my voice. If it did, it was so minor that no one really noticed, so I don't know. Next question, does it affect your breathing? So yes, a lot of people, including me, get rhinoplasty or septoplasty to fix and enhance their breathing. So I had a completely deviated, twisted septum. It's actually funny, my doctor didn't realize that I had a twisted septum until he like opened it up in surgery, and he was like, whoa, it's like very twisted. We just thought that I had like a really narrow nostril and that I couldn't breathe out of it because of that, but I was having like really bad sleep apnea, so I was like choking in my sleep because I couldn't breathe. So this has opened up my airwaves. It's like widened my nostrils so I can actually breathe. So yes, this affects my breathing in a positive way. If you don't have breathing problems and you're just getting cosmetic surgery, I don't think it really affects your breathing at all, because for the most part, they're just arranging things in a straighter way. It shouldn't affect really like your nostrils, unless you're trying to make your nose like so small, which I just don't recommend obviously. But if they're like making your nostrils any smaller, then yeah, I mean, that could affect your breathing too. Okay, now a couple questions that I got from you guys on Instagram. What was the most unexpected part of the whole process? I mean, I should have expected this, but I didn't, is that when you have your cast on and you have your splints in, you literally can't breathe through your nose. And so for a full week, I couldn't taste food, which is just something I didn't think about. But I've never experienced not being able to taste food for that long. And it was so weird. It made me like not as hungry. It didn't make me like feel sick when I ate or anything. It's just like, I didn't realize how appealing food is because it tastes good. I mean, you would think that's why. but it's like the second I couldn't taste it, I just didn't really feel like eating. So that was like one of the weirdest things, I think. It's just like I did not feel like eating because I couldn't taste food, and it was a very weird phenomenon. The other weird thing is that my upper lip was like completely numb for like the first day. They did tell me that I should maybe expect that, but it was just funny when I was actually like trying to eat and I was like, do I even have a lip? I can't feel it. Also, the tip of my nose stayed numb for like months, just to the touch, and it was like very hard, but they did tell me to expect that. So again, not super like unexpected, but it was just funny. Another question I get a lot is like, do they break your nose when they're doing surgery, rhinoplasty? And this is also a mixed answer. It depends on what kind of surgery you're getting. I got an open rhinoplasty, and even with open rhinoplasty, they don't always break your bones, because basically your nose is completely cartilage, but then up here, like on the bridge, it's bone, and on your cheeks right here, it's bone. So for me, they did have to break it because they basically had to widen this out. So they did break my bones, and they obviously shaped the cartilage. They actually moved cartilage from my tip to the side. If you don't have enough cartilage on your current nose to add cartilage up here, sometimes they graft from your ear or some other place with cartilage. Luckily, I had a very bulbous tip, which I was trying to get rid of anyway, so they were able to just shape it with the nose, like with the cartilage that I currently had. But yeah, it's funny because in the photos, I look so much worse than I feel. Like it looks like someone quite literally took a sledgehammer to my face, and that's because they actually did. Apparently, it was quite barbaric, says my friend who was in the operating room, watching him break my face. But yeah, so it did not hurt nearly as much as it looks like it hurt. And then another thing that's very interesting that they told me to expect that actually didn't happen to me was that they told me that like about 5 or 6 days after surgery and right before I get my cast off, apparently you can get like really depressed all of a sudden, and you can like really question your decision. And apparently it's like a mixture of coming off of anesthesia and painkillers, like kind of coming down, having this like down period. And then also, of course, you're like waiting in the anticipation of like seeing your new nose. You're just kind of freaking out. That did not happen to me at all. But I was really glad that he told me that, because I feel like I was so prepared for every possible thing that could happen. And so when he told me that, like I was fully prepared to feel depressed, and then I knew that if I started feeling it, I wouldn't freak out. I would just like ride it through because I knew it would end. But I actually didn't feel it at all. So that was pretty nice. So yeah, that concludes my 1 year update. Overall, am I happy I did it? Was it worth it? 1000% yes. It's one of those things like I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, and it's not that I wish I did. I know that I did it at the time that was right for me, when I was ready, when I felt responsible and confident enough to do it, and when I had done enough research to like really make the right decision with my surgeon and with what I wanted, my goals. I am so happy. It's just like, it's not that I hated my nose before. You, again, go watch my other video, but it's like, it's just that added little like confidence piece of like, oh, like I like how my nose looks and I can breathe. So it's cool. Like I'm so happy with it. And no one even really noticed that I got surgery, which is funny. You only really notice when you look back at the before pictures. I'm always like, whoa, I forgot I had a totally different nose. But yeah, I'm so happy I did it. It was so worth it. My doctor was literally the nicest man on planet Earth. I anticipate going and doing like facial treatments with him, not any like surgeries, but I really want to try like microneedling, and he's the guy that I would trust doing it, because I'm a very natural gal and I'm like not really big into these these facial things and Botox and fillers and stuff. But this surgeon I trust with my heart and soul and life, and so I might try like something else with him, like microneedling or whatever. But anyway, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other nose job questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will totally do more videos if that's something you guys want to see. I know this is super random, but I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you want, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, bye.